Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to another episode of an honestly very hard challenge. In the last episode, Takir and his matchmaker bunnies helped inspire some of our tribe mates to spend a little bit of time with those who had captured their hearts. Of course, we do have Awkward and Morgana right here. The bunnies kind of brought them together, but they're not the only ones who have had a little visit from Takir. He's trying his hardest to shield Mars and Jericho right now from Nicole's wrath. He managed to distract her with the bunnies during the last night, so they have one more day to spend together. One more day to get to know each other, and one more day for Jericho to, actually break down his walls. Mars is a very, very tough creature to get to know, but that's only because of the area that he was raised in. He doesn't really know what it's like to have friends with somebody so soft like this. Somebody who's just willing to help him out because he's in danger. Not because he might see him as something weak, but I'm sure we all know that this is about to come to an end. As soon as Nicole gets her energy back, she is going to be furious. Not to mention, she's just about to have her next baby, too. She only has 2 days remaining, so I wonder if she's even going to be able to make it back to the healing fruits. Something tells me she might actually have to have her baby over here. I guess it's a little bit fortunate that we have a nest over here, so it's not as though she's going to have to build one on her own. But she won't be able to honor that age-old tradition either, and that's something that she takes very, very seriously. So I wonder what that's going to mean for her future baby. For now though, let's just give Mars and Jericho a little bit more time to get to know each other. Maybe we could try to grab some more fish? No, looks like they're a little bit too far away. Jericho, I wonder if maybe you could startle them closer to Mars. Then again, I suppose if they could find some bunnies to catch instead, that would probably be a better pastime for them both. We already know that Jericho has a little bit of an endless stomach too, so goodness knows he could probably eat again. Let's have him jump over here, trying to lure the bunny out from hiding maybe? And I'm sure all of that noise is probably going to alert Nicole too. This could be her way of discovering where he's hiding out, as suspicious as she is of him already. But at least the bunny hunting mission worked. So you can go ahead and grab the bunny for us, and then Jericho should be able to jump over here. That means on the next turn he should be able to pick up the meat. And Stone, this must be so tempting. Well, we don't have any bluebirds near us. Actually, the nearest bluebird is way over here swirling above Sheba's head. So maybe that means you could actually jump down there to grab one more bunny for your baby. I mean, I'm sure she would love to see you go hunting. You could probably use this as a little training exercise or something. The only problem is, then we would have to wait for all of the rest of the turns we have to make, and she would be left unguarded for all that time. So maybe we should wait? Oh no, and speaking of being left unguarded, good thing it's just Awkward who's by the shore right now, but it looks like we're going to have a repeat of last time. You two are probably getting a little bit concerned as well. The fact that Awkward and Morgana are so far behind, why don't we go ahead and clear out the grasses? As the leech unfortunately sticks right to Awkward again. Oh, you poor little thing. At least we know that Morgana's going to be able to help you now, though. I wonder if she's starting to feel nervous, too. Now that she's actually seeing the ocean with her own 2 eyes. Now that the ocean is stretched out before her, this vast and endless sea. I wonder if she's feeling a flutter of fear in her heart. She knows how dangerous it is, and she knows how hard it is to actually gauge that danger too. Who knows what else is lurking in those depths? So it's probably going to take a little bit of convincing for Awkward to get her closer to the water. And that's all well and good too, because if she gets a leech, that's going to mean instant death for her. It might actually mean instant death for Awkward. I can't imagine that he would want to see her pass. Why don't we go back to Sheba for this turn, though? I think it's about time that maybe she returned to the rest of her tribe mates. She is starting to feel quite a bit better, thanks to all the berries that she's been indulging in, of course. And she has quite some heavy news to bring back to Celestite and Comet, about their son Akkadian who's decided to strike off on his own. Thankfully, he has the companionship of our friendly bearyena, somebody to keep him company and somebody to act as a little bit of a bodyguard to him, too. I don't think our friendly bearyena is going to let him go anytime soon. It seems like he's pretty much dedicated himself to protecting Akkadian. And if Morgana's prophecy is going to come true, then that's probably a very, very good thing for him. Now, Comet, We should probably grab that bunny. Let's have Celestite do it, though. She is a little bit younger than you are, and you're probably feeling very, very tired right now. So you could just stay there right next to little Clownfish. Yeah, that was your name. Clownfish, just like the clown koi that we have on the stream. We figured it must have been a way for Comet to honor his oldest daughter. Now, do you think maybe these are the matchmaker bunnies too? Not that Celestite and Comet need any more convincing. They have certainly had a very, very big family together already. But I wonder if they're trying to lure Mars and Jericho over this way again. I feel like Jericho's probably going to start feeling pretty bad pretty soon, especially once he sees Nicole with his own eyes. He's going to feel like he can't possibly take advantage of this creature, try to weasel information out of him when he's in such a bad situation. But that would still be a win for him as long as Mars accepts, because if he can bring somebody back from Nicole's camp itself, that is definitely going to help Celeste with her mission too. I suppose we'll go ahead and have you pick up the bunny meat though. Oh. Really? Oh my gosh, I was going to say because surely this bunny is not going to hop one step closer to you. But I guess I was wrong. These bunnies are very, very brave. Well, Comet, what if we bring you over here? Yeah, is this bunny just going to like hop straight up to the nest or something? Clownfish rather, are you a bunny whisperer? Maybe he has a strange connection with the wildlife here, more than in just his name. It's better than having a connection to death anyways, like Akkadian with his skull mask. It almost looks like he's been brushed by the waves again, just like his sister, with those little ripples on his fur. I'm sure Shiva's going to be very happy to see him too. As much as this constant cycle has broken her heart, she just can't resist taking care of babies. So Akkadian, I think it's about time that we have you start following that pathway of roots. It seems to be leading him closer to the tree, which is pretty much where we want him to go anyways. So let's have him take his first step. We'll slip into the grasses and watch that bunny, but it looks like it finally wisened up. Must have noticed Comet's big claw after all. Now, do we want Akkadian to clear out a pathway behind him? That way the friendly bearyena could actually follow him a little bit more easily. Though, have you noticed? This bluebird is actually following you instead. Do you think maybe he's trying to get an easy meal? I mean, it's not as though the bluebirds haven't been stealing from the bearyenas every last chance they can get. So maybe it knows that eventually this bearyena is going to catch him something good. Akkadian has actually noticed a few bunnies up here too. So yeah, if you could clear out the pathway behind you, maybe you can open it up for your friendly bearyena to actually catch you some food. Of course the bunnies would come right up to you now, just like your father and your mother over here. Oh, Comet, we can't possibly let you leave the baby alone, so you're going to have to stay right there too. In fact, I think we might be just about out of turns. We just have Stone over here and his daughter. So I suppose we should probably have you dig up the roots, huh? Oh, there we go. There's a delicious bunny snack. Tons of bunny snacks, in fact. Oh, your daughter is going to be so impressed with you. Let's have her sit down right there, and then I think we should be ready to skip the day. No bluebirds anywhere around this place, so she should be just fine, as long as one doesn't spawn right over her head. I guess we could probably have Comet scoot on over here too, right next to his baby still, but just close enough to pick up a little bit more grass. Okay, so which area should we go to? Where should we keep an eye on first? I guess maybe we should go back to Nicole herself. Zoom out a little bit so we can watch the skies. Make sure Alara is going to be safe. Oh, as the cries of pain start from the shore. You poor thing, Awkward. We're going to have to make sure that we lick those wounds fast, just in case there's any piranha fish lurking in the water too. Thank goodness we haven't seen too many of those yet, but you never know. So Alara, scoot on over here. I'm sure you are very, very excited to dive into that meat. But then we're going to go back to you, Awkward. So yet again, Morgana, go ahead and pick that leech off of him, lick his wounds. And then we have to figure out how we're going to get you closer to the island here. Close enough to pass with the rest of the family. Well, for starters, I guess Awkward should probably pick up the bunny meat for you. Okay. Did you actually steal our friendly bearyena's food after all? Oh no, we should have checked. Well, I suppose we had to deal with that situation first anyways. But that's a little bit disappointing. At least we know that your plan worked, Akkadian, so you'll have to see if you can work with your friendly bearyena again on the next turn. There's that cheeky bunny. Why don't you go ahead and land the final blow for us this time, Comet? You can grab that meat soon, too. Alright, awkward. So you're going to have to convince Morgana that it's okay to follow you. That she'll be safe because you're going to be watching her back. It looks like we can only bring her around this way because I don't want to settle her down on the beaches anywhere. We can't risk letting her get a leech stuck between those spines. This is kind of a reverse in roles, though. Like, Awkward was always so shy and timid before, and now he's trying his hardest to coax Morgana into following him. Now she's afraid where he actually feels a little bit of courage. I guess he would probably try to point out the oak tree over here. Just like the oak tree that they settled down beneath before, he knows that this is going to be a place of endless safety. There are a couple of places here and there where she can sit down without worrying about getting her toes wet, so she should be perfectly fine. It's just a matter of crossing that long gap of water first. You know what, Awkward? Let's have you scoot inland a little bit, just so you can be closer to her and guide her safely across the sand. We'll come back here at the end of our turn to make sure that Longshot hasn't picked up any leeches either. I know he is very, very eager, but we've got to watch your back too. Now let's go straight back to Nicole. As the day has come for her to have her baby, she has heard a strange rustling in the grasses. She can smell fresh bunny meat, aside from the one that she has caught, of course. And as she lurches into the clearing, she's going to see Mars communicating with the enemy. That bright orange fur can't possibly hide him in the grasses, and I'm sure it would instantly connect him to Comet too. Comet, who she must have figured she lost so long ago. He disappeared without a trace, just like Celestite. So as far as she knows, that those two are very untrustworthy too, and she's sure that their son isn't going to be any different. So with the rage flashing in those red eyes of hers, she must look something like a killer bearyena right now. A very tiny killer bearyena, mind you, but one still packed with danger. And Mars knows that any threat of hers is not empty at all. So as she rears up with her scorpion tail ready to strike, I think Jericho is going to grab that bunny meat, grab Mars's claw in his own, and then rush him off into the darkness toward his home. It's all that he can think to do to keep Mars safe. Bring him back to his father's shelter, where he hopes the Bone Keeper will never find them again. And with all the noise they're making, even scaring the moles away too, I'm sure that Comet is probably going to take notice. In fact, let's have him jump over here, on top of the bunny burrow, swapping places with Celestite so she can keep watch of the baby. Who knows if that bird is going to try to come back after all. Oh, that's a very, very far shadow. I thought he was over here by the ocean. But it must be a strange angle of the sun or something. You were actually much, much closer than I thought you were. Well, we're going to have to be careful then. But let's bring Mars over here, settling down right on top of that old abandoned molehill, as he stares down face to face with Comet, the god of sacrifice himself. I don't think any of these creatures would know that Mars has any connection to Nicole, but they're not going to have very much to worry about anyways. As soon as Jericho has a little bit more energy to spare, I'm sure he's going to jump in front of him and defend him to his last breath. So for now, Comet, let's have you come on over here so you can meet your son. He's been away for such a long time and you must be so glad to see him again. You only have 4 days remaining on your lifespan after all. It's nice that he's been able to reunite with so many of his children. I guess he'll never get that chance with Akkadian. Which reminds me that we better start moving Sheba over. Especially with all this commotion, she's probably a little bit worried too. And oh my gosh, look at all of this fish down here. Sheba, you're going to have quite a bit of work ahead of you, but for now let's bring you over here to the stump. So you can let Celestite know that Akkadian has decided to strike off on his own. He felt like he needed to find his own place in the world, and it wasn't near any of his tribe mates. But he still has one big hulking shadow watching his back, so Sheba's not worried about any harm befalling him. She would probably try to put his mother's mind at ease as best as she could. She knows firsthand how hard she'll probably take it. But as she gazes down at little clownfish in the nest, oh, her heart must just be sighing all over again. Here we go again, yet another heartbreak. clownfish is probably quite interested in her too. Maybe we'll have him skid around over here, like he's trying to climb the stump along with her, clawing up as best as he can with his talons. Now Nicole is absolutely fuming. She's probably screaming out in rage right now, knowing that Mars must be sharing all of her secrets with the enemy. In her mind, this means war, but there's not much that she can do right now. As she settles down pitifully in the nest, she's going to end up giving birth this night. So again, I wonder how that's going to affect her baby. There's no healing fruit around her anywhere, so she can't possibly honor that tradition. But aside from that, all she feels is the rage of losing her guard. Is nobody trustworthy enough to stay in her life? It seems like time and time again, she just ends up getting betrayed by those she trusts, despite wanting so desperately to keep them close. So I wonder if this next baby of hers is going to be influenced by greed, as the first intense emotion that they're probably going to feel as they're brought into this life, assuming that they survive at all, of course. So I think we just have Akkadian left, and then we'll go back to our traveling group. Let's go to you, Akkadian, and let's see if you can find any more bunnies in the grasses. Oh my gosh, bunnies on all sides? A literal triangle of bunnies right around you, and you're sitting in the middle. Okay, that's a little bit creepy. Well, I'm wondering if maybe the bearyenas is going to go after this bunny, so you probably don't want to get too far away. We'll try to weave your way around all of these poison berry bushes too. I wonder if maybe we should have him cut a few down. I always hate to cut down the poison berry bushes because they don't grow back like our normal ones do, so that is just getting rid of one potential food source. But at least you found a little nest to lay in the meantime. I guess we'll have you come over here and just settle down inside. You can wait for your friendly bearyeena to finish hunting. Oh my gosh, and look at all of these poison berries. There is literally only one normal berry bush here. Gosh, Nicole would have a field day over on that side of the island. Too bad it's so far away from her. I mean, she's so close to the end of her lifespan, she would probably never get there in time. Not to mention she has much bigger things to deal with. So let's go back to you, Longshot. I think Aqua and Addie are finally ready to let you cross this gap. Of course, you're going to be the first one to dive over. So let's have you jump in. This area should be shallow enough that you shouldn't have to worry about crossing. Nobody's going to drown, right? Yes, so far so good. And you can see some delicious acorns on the shore too. So let's have you sniff around. Our very first time exploring this tiny island here. It looks like everything is pretty quiet so far, and that's probably not a good thing for you. You were really hoping that you'd be able to bring back good news to Awkward, of course. Oh my gosh. Awkward, what are you doing? Oh, he's shielding the bunnies with his big bat wing. Probably thanking them, actually. If he knows that they're Takira's matchmaker bunnies, then he must be very, very grateful. One of you had the cutest idea, by the way, that maybe Takira's matchmaker bunnies would have, like, little hearts on their fur or something. Little hearts drawn from berry juice by Takira himself. I just love that image. It's probably one of those things that you don't really notice unless you're actually this close to the bunnies, too. So we'll give Awkward time to properly thank Takira tonight. Now I wonder what we should do with Addie and Aqua. Like, I don't want this group getting too separated, because who knows if some sort of leech is going to creep up on Longshot over here. But at the same time, I don't think they would want to split up. So for now, maybe they'll just stay here, like actually waiting for Awkward and Morgana. We'll have Adeline come up here, clear up the grasses around her, and then I think we should be ready to skip the day. So on the next turn, we'll make sure that Longshot scoots a little bit deeper into the island too. That way we won't have to worry about anything coming his way. So it looks like nothing has spawned in these grass tops. Nothing over here anyways, but you still have these to explore too. So I guess there's still hope that there's some sort of resources on this island. But let's go straight to Nicole. Let's see what her next baby is going to look like. If, of course, they survive at all. This baby born without the powers of the healing fruit to keep them healthy. And yet, she almost looks like a carbon copy of her sister. Wait a second, are they actually twins? Oh my gosh. Pernille and Alara. I think they might be twins. The only difference is the body, right? I think she actually has the lean body over here. Oh, perfect for greed then. Or maybe envy, rather. She'd be envious of her sister for being just that tiniest bit stronger, which will surely hog her mother's attention. I love how they all look like they're deeply influenced by their mother, too. Like they might not be albinos, but they're pretty close. It goes to show that Stone doesn't really have much of a say in how they grow either. I mean, he's trying his best to train Alara, but she's just so reckless and wrathful. Even losing bunnies as she chases after them frantically. He just can't seem to get through to her, but I'm sure that Stone did hear that terrible cry from Nicole the day before, so he's probably feeling very, very concerned right now. The only problem is we can't exactly leave Nicole alone. I think she's going to be growing her second gem in the next turn, though. Right? Yeah, she's 7 days old right now, so it should just be one more day. So maybe once we're close to finishing this turn, we can move him just a little bit further away. Now, nobody is set up by the shore, right? Everybody's doing okay? So I guess we could have Celestite jump over here, grab that extra little spot of bunny meat, as Sheba takes over cracking open these acorns. That would probably be a pretty interesting thing for Clownfish to watch too. We'll have him finally scramble up to the top of this throne here, as Sheba picks up the rest of them. One day that could actually be your job. Now before we end the episode, I do want to make sure that we at least have Longshot explore this island a little bit more. I'm sure he's very, very excited to pick up these acorns, of course. But let's have him jump over here, so he can light up the rest of the grassland tiles. Unfortunately, it looks like there isn't even a nest over here. Oh! Hello! Oh, that Comet that you saw before? The very same one that you stole that shell from to give to Morgana, actually. It looks like he is very, very curious right now. I wonder if he can sense the Bandit Brothers' influence too. It always seems like the Kravitz can. So the fact that he's looking straight off to this island, where Longshot is all alone, that is actually mildly disturbing. Does that mean they're planning something for Longshot? Like playing some sort of trick on him? Maybe something to really get under Awkward's skin? Well, you know what, Awkward? We better have you move then. Let's actually bring Addie back here, so she can light up the rest of the way for you. Morgana, unfortunately, is a bit slow, so it's going to be really hard to bring her over, but we're not going to give up. She really wants to see Awkward's old home. And aside from that, he really wants to show her his home. So let's have him hop over here, and then very, very carefully, very delicately maneuver around all of the sand. There is a good possibility that we're going to have to leave her on the sandbar over here when we move, just because of how slow she actually is. But we'll still try our best to be careful. Awkward vows to watch her back every last step of the way, Morgana. I guess we'll bring him up here so we can watch from the top of the cliffs, standing guard with this little Kravitz friend of his. But in the next episode, I think the most pressing matter is probably going to be what happens here with Jericho and Mars. Now that Nicole has very literally declared war against their family, who knows what that's going to mean for Comet and all of his babies. He'll just have to hope that Jericho covered his trail well enough, or else he may have led her straight into the heart of their camp. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!